Hello, Da Vinci. Welcome back. This is our computing session for today. You're going to demonstrate the safe use of information technology. So let's move on. We're going to look at different uses of information technology. We're going to recognize how to use it responsibly, and we're going to say how rules and guides can help us. So talk to you, Teddy. Oh, how have we used? Let me see if I can add a screen shade on. Just wait one moment. I was going to put a screen share on, but actually I want you to be able to see the pictures. So I've got, how can we use IT in school? So we've got the VR, we've got our Learn Pads, we've got our B-Bots, and we've got our computer suites. How can we use IT in school? Talk to you, Teddy, just nice and quickly, because we're just going to whip through this lesson. Well, for VR, we could maybe use it to go in the VR, in the virtual reality, we can use it to go to places that we can't usually go to, places like the ISS. For the Learn Pads, we might be able to use them to take pictures, digital pictures of mini beasts. For our B-Bots, we might use them to help us learn our directions and do our coding, which is where you tell something to go somewhere by putting in a certain code. We might also use our computing suite on our lessons for computing, of learning how to code and other things, but we might also use it to like practice our phonics and lots more, so you can do lots of different things. Using IT appropriately. What rules do we have when we're using this? Now, this is a phone. What rules might we have when we're using this? Now, you might have some of your own rules at home, and I'm interested to hear some of them, but I came up with a few rules just to link and give you some ideas. So you might have, you don't answer your phone, the parent's phone. If the parent's phone or whoever's phone's at home is ringing, one of your rules might be you don't answer it because you don't know who it is. One of your rules for when using this phone might be you're not allowed to send messages to anyone without your supervision, your adults that stood next to you. And maybe if something goes wrong, you could always ask for an adult for help. That might be one of your rules, a bit like Smarty the Penguin's rules. Now we've got some other rules here. We've got taking photos. What should I think about when taking somebody's photo? Well, maybe something you should think about is, would the person be happy with the photo? If you took a photo that wasn't a very good photo of them, do you think they'd be happy or a bit sad? Now, it's not your fault that the picture's not come out very well, but if they're looking a bit silly, they're pulling a funny face, they might be a little bit funny in the moment, but later on they might think it's a bit sad. And if you share that picture with anyone, then it might make them really sad because they might think I look really silly and all my friends are laughing at me. So it's important to make sure that you think that they would be happy with how the photo looks, making sure that they don't look silly. You also might need to make sure that there's nobody in the background. When people are behind you in the background, it might mean that they don't want to be in the picture, which is why we have to make sure when we're on YouTube, I'm always making sure that there's no children anywhere in the background for at the school, or if I'm sharing work from Tapestry, I'm not going to be sharing your name or any other information about you or your picture, because I don't want you to go onto YouTube without you saying that you're happy to go onto YouTube, okay? Because you might not be happy, it might make you a bit sad. So that's something that we need to think about. We've also got here, we've got a games console. Now, some of you might have a games console at home and you might be playing with on some games, but you also might be then talking to other people online. And one of your rules might be that you don't talk to strangers online, because you wouldn't talk to a stranger in the street. So why would you talk to a stranger on the microphone? You might not want to play games that are too old for you, because that might be one of your rules. It might not be good for you to play games that are a bit older for you, because it might have things that might make you a bit scared. You also, when you are online, people might ask you for things like information, and you don't want to share that with people online. So that might be one of your rules. You've also got, you might have, similar to the phone, asking for help if something goes wrong. Because if someone says something to you online that you are not sure about, it's that stop, think, and get an adult. Okay? You've then got this one, which is a very similar one to the phone and the games console. You don't want to talk to people online that you don't know. You don't want to play games that are too old for you. You always need to make sure that if something goes wrong, you're asking an adult for help. And you definitely don't want to be sharing any information about you to strangers online. That might be how old you are. It might be where you live. You don't want to be saying that to anybody online because you don't know who they are. They might say they're someone, but they might not be that person. They might be lying, which is mean, but sometimes it happens. So we need to make sure we're keeping ourselves safe so that nobody is going to be able to use what we've said against us, okay? So we need to make sure we keep our rules so that we're going to be safe online. So talk to you, Teddy. How do rules keep us safe? How do they make sure that we are safe? Talk to you, Teddy. Now, I'm sure you've had some good discussion there about how rules can keep us safe, making sure that we don't say anything that's going to keep us unsafe. Now, your task today is I'm going to get you to draw one of these devices. So I've got a smart TV here. So that might be like with Netflix or YouTube or something like that. That might have some TV shows that might not be appropriate for you. Or you've got your computer with maybe, or the games console with some games on it that might not be appropriate, or people online that you don't want to be speaking to, or people on the microphone that might not be saying nice things and you might not want to speak to them. Making sure maybe the rules about the photograph or the rules about the parents or carers' phones. Now, I want you to choose one of those devices. I want you to draw it, and I want you to make some rules about what you think we should have when using that device. So my rule might be, with my laptop, I make sure that I don't go on any games that are not appropriate for me. I make sure that I've got my keyboard locked so nobody can go on and take anything or delete anything. I make sure that only I know my password. I don't share my password with anybody else. Those were some of my rules that I keep to make sure that I'm safe with my laptop. So what are some of your rules that you might have to do with your phone or your person who's at home's phone, if you've got a games console or if you're using the family laptop or the TV, draw your device and tell me the rules on what you think should be the rules to keep you safe when you're using that device. Thank you very much, Da Vinci. I'll see you in the next video and I look forward to your work on Tapestry. Goodbye, everyone.